Man, I swear, sometimes I sit down to record these videos and I'm just bursting with ideas through the whole day. And then I sit down and I just have this blank look on my face and I just don't know what to say and I don't do anything. And even if I visit my notes and ideas, there's nothing that really like compels me. Oh, I think it's half the battle, honestly, is like capturing your ideas and making sure that you can actually capture them. I built a Notion sheet that is supposed to be like my little dumping ground for whenever I have an idea. But then I'll be like driving down the road and think of something, or I'll be in the shower and I'll think of something, and not always that is simple and easy to capture. But that's the beauty of this whole process, is like trying to funnel your creativity like from wherever those ideas come from, like through your mouth, and to be shared with the rest of the world in some way. And right now, obviously, I'm choosing YouTube and recording at certain specific time of the day, and it doesn't always like channel the same way that like I feel it, and also I'm staring at myself on the screen, like literally right now. Like I look at the camera and then I look at my face on the screen and it looks weird. It's kind of weird to talk in the mirror as opposed to like how I might say it to somebody sitting across the table from me if I was having coffee, because those people have told me like, oh, you're a good speaker, you're an eloquent speaker, you're compelling, you should do this more. I'm like, thanks. And I really don't think that it's quite come through. And I'm still in my head a little bit about the actual ideas that I have. I'm still a little bit hesitant to like trigger people, and I don't trust myself yet fully to deal with the responses. And I asked one of my coaches recently, I said, like, isn't that a problem? Like, isn't it a problem if I am still afraid of that and I can't trust myself yet? Doesn't that mean that the evil still lives within me, basically? She's like, no, you're a person, like it's natural, it happens, and take her word for it. And I've heard from people at all stages of creative pursuits, the successful ones as well, that they still deal with self consciousness and things like that. So it's hardly something that goes away. And I think it's really good because it keeps you honest. But that's just a little BTS, I get a little frustrated. I get a little discouraged sometimes, but I absolutely believe that I can I can build something if I just build some, as in build an audience and have people that engage and listen to things that I share. And I do have some data to support that. But maybe this is also just one of those. I'm just trying to share the creative struggle, the war of art that goes on, and the blankness that happens in my brain when I sit down to record sometimes, and the worries that I have about if I actually were to tell you what it was like to be a man raising a daughter, or going through a divorce, or a breadwinner who hasn't made money, a certain way for a certain period of time, and like the darkness associated with the thoughts of telling yourself that nothing is ever good enough, it would upset people. I'm sure it would, but those aren't the people that I'm talking to. There's some internal dialogue for you. I'm not talking to those people anyways. I'm talking to the people who have the capacity, the strength, the wherewithal, the self-awareness, and the respect to honor that it's my opinion that I'm sharing. It's only my perspective. It's only my experience. If I don't trust that others can respect that about me, it says something about how I respect that about others. So I'm still kind of working through that piece, which makes sense because growing up so externally validated and worrying so much about external opinions and opinions of specific people and caregivers, blah blah blah, like it makes sense. It makes sense to me that I still do this. It's interesting to try to accept it and embrace it and look at it and work through it and be different, you know. But that's the game. That's the work. That's the progress. So wish me luck, and thanks for watching.